Hi children, how are you all? Are you all fine? Yes, I hope you all are fine and well. Okay, let's begin a subject SS and chapter the state government, its working and role. The state government, its working and role. How that government, state government will perform and how it work for the welfare of the people that we'll see in this chapter. Okay, so as you know that government is there, that already there are you know three levels. You know that there are three levels of government in India. They are that union or central government, then state government, then local self-government. That three levels are there. Union government means central government, state government, and local self-government. Okay, so we'll learn about that all in detail. Federal system. Then next is there, that is federal system. A federal government, a federal government divides the power. Federal government is there that divides the power between that central government and the state government. Power is divided between state government and central government in federal system. Okay, then in India, that federal government is there, that federal government power is shared. Power is shared between the central or union government and state government, and that state government and union government both are sharing power. However, that central government is united with the state governments. Central government is united with the state government, but it has its own independent that rules also. They remain independent in some opinion, in some internal affairs. It is connected with the state government, but in some opinion, it is independent in some affairs. Okay, that the power is divided, that is called federal system. So, the state government is there. That state government is formed. What is the formation of state government? That state government is formed by the party that wins more seats. The party which wins more seats in the election form the government, state governments, and it is known as simple majority system. The party which wins by majority seat form the state government. It is called that simple majority system. The powers of the state government, the power of the state government is there. It is divided among the legislature, the executive, and the judiciary. So, the executive powers are there. The executive powers are there. It is exercised by the governor, the chief minister, and his council of ministers. The main power is that executive powers. It is in the hand of governor, the chief minister, and council of ministers. The governor is the nominal head. Governor is there. That governor is the nominal head of the state, but the real power lies with the chief minister and his council of ministers. Okay, then we'll see the state legislators. The state legislators are there. The state legislators perform many functions. The state legislator is there. It it performs many functions. The main one of making laws. It makes some laws for the welfare of the people. They make laws on different subjects. State legislator, he or she makes laws on different subjects and for different matter, and it is also that power is made by the state legislator. So they can also abolish, that legislator can also abolish that outdated laws. Some laws are there, they are very old, so that legislator can abolish them. So the legislature, there are two houses are there, upper house and lower house. The lower house is called legislative assembly and upper house is called legislative council. So we'll see now first legislative assembly. The legislative assembly, is there. That assembly is called the lower house of the legislature. The members of the legislative assembly, MLA, member of the legislative assemblies, they are directly elected by the people. MLAs are there, they are directly elected by the people of the state constituencies. That elected members of the legislative assembly are a part of electoral college that assemble, are a part of that electoral college that participates in the election of president of country. The elected members, they are part of that electoral college and participates in the election of president of the country. The number of members of the legislative assembly, that varies depend upon the population of the state. The members of the legislative assembly is there, they are depend on the population, how much population of the state. So it depends on the population of state. So according to our Constitution of India, the number of members in the legislative assembly should not exceed 500 and should not be less than 60. It should not exceed 500 and should not be less than 60. Okay, the speaker is there in assembly. The speaker is there, is the presiding officer. Speaker is called presiding officer of the legislative assembly. He or she is responsible to carry out meetings and debates peacefully, and the speaker can take action against the other that member if necessary. If necessary is there, then speaker can take action of any member. A deputy speaker is also there. The deputy speaker is also there. The deputy speaker presides over the assembly in the absence of the speaker. Both the speaker and deputy speakers, are elected by the MLAs. So speakers plays an important role in that legislative assembly. The term is there. The term of the legislative assembly is for 5 years. The term of the legislative assembly is for 5 years. Though during some state emergency is there, then the term can be extended by the parliament and it can be dissolved before the time. It can be dissolved before the time by the government. So that term is for 5 years. Session. Session is there. The legislative assembly. The legislative assembly. It has that two sessions. Two sessions in a year. The interval between two sessions cannot be more than 6 months. There is two main sessions and the interval cannot be more than 6 months. At least one tenth of the members should attend the session. 1/10 of the member should attend the session. And in India, we have three sections, means three sessions: the budget session, the monsoon session, and the winter session. Three sessions are there: budget session, the winter session, and the monsoon session. So now we'll see that MLA. MLAs are there. Qualifications of MLA, member of Legislative Assembly. So qualifications of MLA. We'll see that the candidate has to contest the assembly elections of a state. The candidate has to contest the assembly election of the state. He or she should be a citizen of India. He or she should be a citizen of India. He or she should be a voter in any constituency of the state. Should be a voter of any constituency of the state. He or should not be less than 25 years age. He or she cannot be less than 25 years of age. And in case of some that contesting for a seat reserved for scheduled caste, he or she should be a member of STs or SCs. He or she should not be convicted of any offense and sentenced to an imprisonment for that 2 years or more. Means he or she should not be a criminal or any case on him or her. Okay. Now we'll see the legislative council. Legislative council is there. That we'll see. The upper house. The upper house is called that legislative council. The upper house of the legislature is called legislative council. And the size of the legislative that council, the size of the legislative council is depend upon the total strength of the legislative assembly. The size of the legislative council is depend on the total length and total size of the legislative assembly. The total number of the legislative council should not be more than one third of the total strength of the legislative assembly. It should not be less than 40 also. The total number of the members of the legislative council should not be more than one third of the total strength of the legislative assembly, and it should not be less than 40. Okay. The legislative council is there, is partly nominated and partly elected. Partly nominated and partly elected. Some members are there, that some members are indirectly elected and some are nominated. Some members directly elected and some are nominated. So the members of the Legislative Assembly elect one third of the member of the Legislative Council. The members of the local bodies elect another one third. Local bodies that elect another one third that of the member of the council. Teachers of secondary schools who have taught for that 3 or more years elect 1/12 members. Graduates are there, the graduates of 3 years standing also elections elect 1/12 members of the council. The remaining 1/6 members, the remaining 1/6 members of the council are nominated by the governor. The remaining members are that approximately 1/6 are nominated by the governor. So these members are there, that these members are chosen from the famous people in various fields like art, literature and science, etc. So now we'll see that the qualifications of the members of the state legislature, qualifications of the members of the state legislature. A person who wants to become a member of the state legislative should have the following qualifications. Means some qualifications are there that I am telling you. He or she should be a citizen of India. First thing is there, he or she should be a citizen of India. He or she should be that of 25-year age for the legislative assembly and 30 year for the legislative council. He or she is 25-year for legislative assembly and 30 year for legislative council. He or she should not hold any office of profit. He or she should not hold any office of profit in the government of India, or any state government. He or she should not be unsound mind or a proclaimed criminal. He or she should not be unsound mind and proclaimed of like criminal. He or she should not be convicted or have a case pending against him or her. He or she should not that a convict or have a case pending against him or her. Okay, so these are that qualifications of members of the state legislature. Okay, so in this period we'll see this much, and in next time we'll see about the more topics like ordinary bill, money bill, that we will see in our next period. Okay, I hope you understand this well. Okay, thank you children. Bye.